A very good morning to you both. Yes, this is just one of over 2,500 food banks that now exist in the UK. That number has skyrocketed over the last year or so, and it is still rising. The latest figures we've seen from the Office of National Statistics is that 1 in 6 UK adults are either moderately or severely concerned that by the time food runs out in their household, they're going to be unable to buy any more. And moreover, 6%, that's 6% of UK adults say they've already run out of food and they can't afford to buy any more. Now, this situation would be concerning at any time of year, but as you say, Christmas is a week tomorrow, and that just makes it feel so much worse how reliant so many people are on food banks like this one. And to tell me a little bit more, I'm joined now by one of the volunteers, Ben Thomas. Good morning to you, Ben.
Good morning. Tell
me a bit about what happens at this food bank.
So we receive mainly donations from members of public in the local community. We get a lot of donations from the schools, from local cafes, from different institutions, but also a lot of individuals come week in, week out and supply a lot of the main supply for the food bank here.
I think, is it 37 families that you have that you serve here on a regular basis? Do you think that you get enough to deal with those families?
It's difficult, really. A lot of the donations that come in kind of go straight out, but we've always got a good turnover of the donations. It's difficult at this time of year, obviously, with a lot of people struggling themselves. So we are seeing kind of a little bit of a decrease in donations, but yeah, it is difficult at this time of year.
You mentioned the time of year, of course. We were just saying so many people are struggling. Have you noticed an increase, not only an increase in the number of people, but perhaps a change in the variety on the spectrum of people that you get coming to the food bank?
Definitely, yeah. So there's an increase in the number of people, and we're kind of developing some Christmas hampers for those people. But yeah, there's a massive variety. So obviously, we get a lot of older people coming to the food bank, but we're getting a lot of different professions now as well. So we've seen nurses, teachers, and I myself, I'm an accountant in Manchester, and you know, people in the trainee position are struggling themselves. So yeah, it's difficult.
It's not just food that you provide over this time of year, though, is it? I know that there's Christmas presents that you give to children, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. So we're reliant on donations for those as well. So basically we get the presents, and we've been wrapping them, we've been parcelling them up, so the families will get a kind of a parcel in a bag full of presents as well.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, Ben. The work that they do here is so important, but it's also mirrored around the UK. You know, over the last few months, I've been to food banks and met people who can't afford to buy food. I've been to warm banks and I've met people who can't afford to turn their heating on. And this situation is really horrendous, but it just feels that little bit worse when it's such a special time of the year and people are really struggling.